Tuesday is one of those days with no football, no NFL, no college, but there are still plenty of opportunities to make some money in Major League Baseball and the Champions League. So let's talk about how the market is moving, who to buy low on, who to sell high on, our favorite stat of the day, and of course I'll close with my power play of the day. Let's get the Power 5 rolling, everybody, and we do so by checking out how the market is moving for tonight's Major League Baseball slate. Sharp bettors sure do seem to like the over in tonight's Angels-Rays clash. Per the WagerTalk.com odds screen, not only have we seen this number move from 7.5 to 8 across the board, but one sharp book, Circa, has already gone to 8.5. The Angels, who have lost 5 straight and have an empty locker with Shohei Ohtani's name on it, send Patrick Sandoval to the mound. Sandoval, 0-3 his last 3 starts with a 9.22 ERA and a 2.121 whip. Those numbers are obviously very bad, and it's not too much better with Rays starter Taj Bradley, who was a 5.85 ERA at home this year, and he's allowed 5 home runs in his last 3 starts. Note, if you are looking to play the over on this matchup, I do so quickly because I wouldn't be surprised to see more 8.5s pop up in the market. By the way, Angels and Rays played out in LA last month. All 3 games went over, all 3 with 13 or more total runs scored. Which team should we look to sell high on now for Tuesday in Major League Baseball? How about the Toronto Blue Jays? What a wild last week it was north of the border as the Jays first get swept in a 4-game series by the Rangers. Then they come back, bounce back, sweep the Red Sox. Tonight, they are favored at Yankee Stadium after a bit of an early morning line move, and I think that presents some value on the opposite side. Yusei Kikuchi got rocked in his last start for Toronto, give 6 runs. The Yankees just so happen to be number 2 in WOBA versus lefties during the second half of the season. Clark Schmidt, who's on the mound for New York, he's been a reliable option all season long. He's allowed 3 earned runs or less in 21 of his last 23 starts. I would sell on Toronto as a favorite in this matchup. Let's not forget, despite sweeping Boston, the Jays remain 15-25 in division games this season. The Yankees have won 16 of 25 games overall. For buy low tonight in MLB, let's get a little creative because I'm going to tell you to take what is now a big favorite in Texas. Honestly, had it not been for that Angels-Rays total, the Rangers would have been featured in our market moves section on the show today because they're now up to minus 180 on the money line after opening minus 140 here against Boston. Why is this a buy low spot? Because Texas has dropped 4 in a row now, including the series opener to the Red Sox just last night. That streak, of course, comes on the heels of them winning 6 in a row, including that aforementioned sweep in Toronto that I just talked about in our last section. I'd back Nathan Eovaldi here, though. He's got a 2.96 ERA and 1.087 whip on the season, plus 3-0 in his 8 previous starts versus Boston. Red Sox are going to counter with Tanner Houck, who did throw 6 shutout innings his last time out, but that is not the norm for him. Texas averages 5.8 runs per game at home, so I am buying them for Tuesday. Who are you buying low on, selling high on for Tuesday's MLB slate? Let me know down in the comments section, and while you're at it, smash that like button, give the Power 5 a thumbs up if you like what you're hearing. Stat of the day. Once again, got to give credit to WagerTalk's own Ralph Michaels for this one. College football teams that are 3-0 straight up and against the spread to start the season have covered just 36.8% of the time in their next game. That includes Notre Dame failing to cash last Saturday against Central Michigan. There are 7 such teams that qualify this Saturday. Rutgers, who's plus 24 at Michigan. Oklahoma, minus 14.5 at Cincinnati. Syracuse, minus 14 versus Oregon. Versus Army. Syracuse is minus 14 against Army. Oregon is on the list, and they qualify. They're minus 21 against Coach Prime in Colorado. Ole Miss, plus 7 at Alabama. Liberty, minus 10.5 at FIU. And Penn State, minus 14.5 versus Iowa. Again, you generally want to fade college football teams that are 3-0 straight up and ATS to start the season. They have covered just 36.8% of the time in their next game. That is your stat of the day. Before we get to our power play of the day, I would like to remind you, let you know, I should say, that over the last 10 days, I've gone 16-6 with all client releases at WagerTalk. That includes wins on Monday Night Football. I had a Panthers-Steelers teaser and Major League Baseball, Seattle -1.5 last night. After losing on opening night of the NFL, I'm now 8-1 my last 9 NFL selections, 80% overall for the year, obviously, 4-1 both weeks. And don't forget about Saturday's massive 5% winner we had in college football, Florida beating Tennessee outright. For a limited time only, you can grab 3 days of my selections for just $55. Just use the coupon code POWER3 at checkout. That's POWER, P-O-W-E-R, all caps, followed by the number 3. Okay, power play of the day failed to come through yesterday. Nottingham Forest settled for a draw against Burnley in EPL action. But we're still on an 11-5 run here with the power play of the day, and it's back to soccer for Tuesday as the Champions League group stage gets underway. I like the over in PSG-Borussia Dortmund, even though that number has gone from 3 to 3.5. Bottom line, you can look for at least 4 total goals today between the French and German sides. That match gets underway at 3 p.m. Eastern, and that does it for the Power 5 for Tuesday, September 19th. Check me out on Twitter, at Bryan Power _wins. Make sure you're subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our great sports betting content. Now let's all go cash some tickets.